Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship and small business ownership continue to be on the rise in the U.S. There are almost 30 million small businesses in the U.S. employing more than 45% of U.S. employees. Milwaukee is no exception, and many organizations have been dedicated to increasing the number of entrepreneurial and small business ownership within the city, helping them to reinvest in the community. This past week marked Startup Milwaukee Week, which supports entrepreneurs and is designed to connect, educate, and celebrate entrepreneurship in southeastern Wisconsin. My first guest is Nadiyah Johnson. She's a Marquette grad and founder of Jet Constellations, a software company that targets minority communities with a focus on startup tech companies and STEM education. How are you, Nadiyah?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you for being here. And I am so excited to talk to you because I'm impressed with your resume and all that you've been able to accomplish up to this point. So tell us more about Jet Constellations and how it got started.
Of course. So Jet Constellations is a local software company here in Milwaukee. We also function as an incubator to help people with diverse backgrounds to sort of make headway in Milwaukee's startup ecosystem. So we began roughly around 2017 as a result of hearing that Milwaukee was transforming into a tech hub. So I was visiting a lot of events and hearing Milwaukee's transforming into a tech hub, and I looked around and my Milwaukee just wasn't in the room. So that spurred me to really start my business and work to address the diversity issues in Milwaukee.
Okay, and the rest, as they say, is history.
It's history, yeah.
Now, it's my understanding your father's an engineer, and it was your father that actually encouraged you to go into the field. You have a degree in political science, but initially you wanted to study international politics. So what did your father actually say to convince you to go into the STEM field?
Yeah, and you know what, I can't say enough, representation matters. So I wasn't as lucky as my peers at the time who had been like programming since they were 6. So when I was in high school and going into college, my father saw that I was pretty good at the Rubik's Cube. So I got that thing down to a minute and 20 seconds. And he just observed and said, you know what, if you're good at that, you probably are good with algorithms. And so you should try your hand at computer science. So when I was in college, I was majoring in international politics for a little while, you know, being a freshman in college, not sure what you want to do. And so I trusted him, being that he's my father and that he was a software engineer. And I did. I made the leap, and I think it was the best decision that I've made thus far, honestly.
Obviously. And so on top of being the founder of Jet Constellations, you also work at GE Healthcare. So what do you do there?
Yes, I'm a technical product manager within the services arena, and specifically in data analytics.
Wow. So your goal is to transform Milwaukee into a tech hub that represents the city's diverse population. So how do you plan on accomplishing that?
Yeah, I think it has to be an all-hands-on-deck effort. That's one thing that I picked up as soon as I launched Jet Constellations. So it's one thing that I want everybody to understand is that when you're transforming a city into a tech hub, you have to take into account everyone in the city. And for a while I was noticing that that wasn't necessarily the case. And so the mission of transforming Milwaukee into a tech hub for Jet Constellations also includes making sure that Milwaukee is the most diverse and inclusive tech hub in the nation.
All right.
So we're doing that through our Milky Tech Hub initiative, which is a grassroots effort of taking the community, partnering with as many organizations and tech companies here in Milwaukee to really spearhead driving diversity in Milwaukee's
sounds
tech
really
ecosystem.
good. So basically, your goal in turning the city into a tech hub, you're hoping to continue doing community workshops, tech talks, and you'll have to tell me, what is a hackathon?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. A lot of people ask that, especially when they're new to the tech scene. So a hackathon is really just getting people with different backgrounds and disciplines together to problem solve, typically using technology. So we recently had the opportunity to pair up with NASA, the International Space Apps Hackathon, and we brought it here to Milwaukee.
Wow.
We had several folks show up, and we were just hacking and solving world problems, and it was just a whole lot of fun. So that's sort of the thing that I want to continue to scale here in Milwaukee, is create a culture where people, all sorts of backgrounds, can come together, leverage technology to benefit the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah, because technology is the future. There's
Yes.
no way around
Yes.
it. And so I mentioned earlier this week that is Startup Milwaukee Week,
Yes.
and your company actually hosted a series of events,
Yeah.
including the Milky Way Tech for Good Pitch Out competition. So
Correct.
you're wearing the Milky Way Tech Hub t-shirt
Yes.
as we speak. So tell us about this whole competition and what that was about.
Yeah, so the Milky Way Tech Hub is all about driving diversity in tech. And so we've partnered with American Family Social Impact Institute to grant $10,000 to a winning startup. The goal is to provide equitable opportunities, and so the Milky Way Tech for Good Pitch Out event was definitely a great way to do that.
Okay, and you've still got a couple of events that are lined up over the weekend, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, good stuff. So when we talk about the STEM field, which that of course is science, technology, engineering, and math, is historically an area where African Americans and minorities have been underrepresented. You made that clear in just our conversation, but there are some interesting statistics when we look at that. In particular, the Pew Research Center cites that around a third of people working in STEM attribute the underrepresentation of African Americans and Hispanics to these groups because, one, they don't believe in their ability to succeed in these fields, two, the lack of Black and Hispanic role models in these fields, and racial, ethnic discrimination in recruitment, hiring, and promotions. When you hear that, what are your thoughts?
You know, I think that it's obvious that there is a dire need for more diversity in tech for a number of reasons. And I think that it begins with exposure, right? So I always say you don't know what you don't know. If I didn't have the representation that was my father in STEM at the time, I don't know if I would have been exposed at the age that I was.
You would have been in international politics.
Yes, exactly. I would have been like, what's coding, what's programming, right? But look at the result of that, right? So I think it's so important to introduce people with diverse backgrounds, Black people, women, underrepresented individuals to tech and STEM fields as soon as possible, because I know that there are statistics that show that the sooner that individuals are exposed to STEM fields, they're more likely to major in some category in STEM in college, which is so important.
Yeah, I would agree with you. They said not being encouraged to pursue these subjects from an early age definitely plays a role. And some other reasons for underrepresentation in the field is access to quality education to prepare you for the field. So you go into public schools, not only to encourage young people and build programs, but to make them aware of the many opportunities under, the STEM umbrella, but also to instill in them a can-do attitude, right?
Absolutely. So I always, when I'm telling my journey, and I think it's so important for people like myself who exist in STEM fields to share their journey, I always talk about the I can, I will, and I must moments with these students. And it's understanding that you absolutely can succeed in STEM. You absolutely have to commit, right? Reach your I will do this moment. And then realize your I must moments as well, understanding your purpose for being in that field. And it's absolutely necessary to have as many perspectives as possible in STEM, specifically tech.
Okay, so you've got this office space that I believe is almost 6,000 square feet, which is huge. So talk about the importance of a Black woman owning a tech hub in the inner city.
I think it's significant for a number of reasons. So adjacent to the office, there are residential houses, and there are children that come in and out of that house, and the idea is to be able to provide exposure to computer science, to the neighboring children, right? I want them to be able to come into the office and look around and ask, well, what's computer science? What's mechanical engineering? What's X, Y, Z? And for me to be able to educate them. So I'm looking forward to continuing building and expanding that space.
I love that. I really do. And it reminds me of kind of what the late Nipsey Hussle was trying to do in the LA area.
Yes.
So really, are you gathering partners to help you in this effort to educate the children who are right there in that community?
Absolutely, and I think that partnership is key. So our most significant partnership that we've solidified recently is American Family Social Impact Institute. We've got a number of other partners. We just partnered with G-Beta, which is an accelerator, Young Enterprise Society, which is another accelerator through the Blueprint, and Brilliance Business Solutions. So we're partnering with as many tech companies as possible to help to realize the mission of the Milky Way Tech Hub.
So with this Tech Hub, you have urban startups who come with ideas, and your job is to help them turn those ideas into a reality.
One by one. So there are so many brilliant people in the city of Milwaukee, and I realized early on that one of the gaps is actually bringing the products to the market. And so that's how Jet Constellations evolved from a consulting firm to a software company / incubator. So people come knocking on the door with their brilliant ideas, and we help take their ideas from ideation phase to minimum viable product to the market.
All right.
Yeah.
This stuff is amazing, and I mean, I don't want to give away your age, but you're just 20-something. So really, anyone watching can clearly see that your future is so bright. And for you to be in this position at this point in your career and already understand what needs to be done to help make a change just really speaks volumes. So in your opinion, how is technology changing Milwaukee specifically?
I think that it's spurring innovation in the city. Specifically with the Milky Way Tech Hub, especially what we've done with the Milky Way Tech for Good pitch out, it's causing individuals to start seeing themselves as not only consumers of technology, but producers of technology as well. So many individuals, as I said earlier, brilliant, have great ideas, and now that there's equitable opportunities that's being presented, more and more people are saying, you know what, maybe I can try my hand at technology and become a founder or a CEO of my own tech company, and that's so powerful.
Yes, it is. And when we look at kids these days, they're like 3 and 4 working cell phones that I can't even figure out, so it's there.
There are 3-year-olds who know how to find the videos on YouTube but don't know how to read. I don't know how, but I'm like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing, and just really just a reminder of just the world that they live in.
Digital
That's
era.
all they know. Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming by and sharing your vision and telling us all about the great things that you're doing. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be hearing more about all the great things happening for you.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Continued success to you. Nadiyah Johnson is an engineer at GE Healthcare and the founder of Jet Constellations, a fast-growing software company that provides technology solutions in the medical, financial, and socially responsible industries. For more information, you can visit their website at jetconstellations.com. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll meet a young couple that has created a platform for local entrepreneurs to expand their brands right here in our community. We'll meet Bruce and Daniela Riley, owners of Wisconsin Curated Creations, right after this.